What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. I'm Andrew, this is Aggie. We're here at Nexus Jiu-Jitsu in Folsom. It's been a long week for Aggie, long weekend. She's a little tired today, but we are gonna get through this for you guys. All right? Today we're gonna look at a few options to counter somebody's single leg X. I have a video from that I did in the past with Alicia, where I call it their single leg X, our attacks. And we go through 4 submission options we can hit on somebody who puts us in single leg X. But today we're gonna look at options where we stand up. Right? That's one of the main things I tell a lot of my students. They're in the leg lock battle, leg fight battle, single leg X in particular. Stand up, get all the weight on your foot, on the primary leg. It's gonna be very hard for them to harass your position. And then we can hit a bunch of options. All of these options I have used extensively, but also I have examples of them being used at the highest level. The first one we're gonna look at is kind of a little Berimbolo roll. It almost seems wedging back take-esque, but it's more of a Berimbolo if you ask me. And Buchecha did it to Rodolfo Vieira back in the day. I think it was in 2011 or something. It was a long time ago. It was one of their first matches, if not their first match. Very, very awesome attack, and I hit it all the time. The other one we're gonna look at is the wedging back take, where we give up the heel hook kind of scenario and go for the wedging back take. And the last one's a little toe hold option that I like to hit. And it's funny, Craig Jones did one about a month ago in a match he had. And 2 weeks before that, I had showed it to my class. And no one had seen it before. And I learned it from a buddy, man, it must have been 15 years ago. I lived in a house with a bunch of wild animals. They were all lowland gorillas, and we were called the Lost Boys Fight Club. And one of them, his name was Zach Grimm, to this day, one of the best jiu-jitsu practitioners I've ever trained with. And he would do this all the time. Anytime you try to wrap up the legs, anytime you got your legs inside, even in butterfly guard, he would go for these particular toe holds. So we're gonna talk about those and just give you guys some more options. When someone's trying to break your legs, trying to entangle your legs with single leg X, we have answers, all right? So let's check it out. Okay, so let's say we're in single leg X, okay? They have the entanglement. Again, regardless of the scenario you got put into single leg X in, we want to get up to our feet. If I'm sitting here like this and they have me in single leg X, they can wrap up my foot, start attacking, start breaking me. And because my foot doesn't bear weight, it's not so hard for them to put maximum pressure on my foot. So what I want to do, pull this foot inside, start working up to my knee here, and then start standing. So I can now, all her gravity, all of her weight is relying on this one foot, right? When I stand up, she needs to keep this hamstring retracted, this leg connected to my hip, or her hips won't even come off the ground. So watch, as I stand here, her hips come up off the ground because she's retracted here. But the moment I do this, see how her hips just fall? What's connected to me now, right? Now she has to go to X guard or other outside ashis or whatever, different options, because there's no connection here now, okay? So we're here in single leg X. I've stood up because it's a very good position to be in terms of defending. And I'm gonna look to take this foot off my hip. But as I do, I'm gonna get active real quick, okay? So I go to take this foot off my hip. I like to grab the toes in this fashion, palm towards the toes. Take the foot off, and as the hips fall, now I'm gonna roll over this side, looking towards their feet. When I roll, I want to bring my hips around their knee. So either I can use a big hip motion, or as I roll, I just push the knee through, okay? So I'm coming through here, rolling over my shoulder, and I'm gonna hook the back of their leg here. This is why it feels more Berimbolo to me than wedging back take, right? I'm hooking this hamstring. And then this knee is gonna hook in tight to her hip. Now I'm gonna stomp my right foot, this foot, to the mat over here while I pinch my knees together. Look here. And see how that brings their hips way up off the mat? That exposes the back for me. So as I stomp, boom, I can hip escape out, look to pull them to me, and start playing all of my back attack controls, right? So again, we're here in single leg X, right? I'm looking to break this foot off. As I do, I come through, boom, here. I'm gonna be pushing this knee so I can get my hips around the knee here, rolling through, catching here. As I do, as I roll through, I stomp my feet to the ground, look, boom. Hips come way up off the mat. At this point, I like to push the hips and reach for the shoulder as I hip escape out, look here, boom. And now I can pull them to me, look to get my back control, and start all of my attacking options. All right, so that's our little Berimbolo option. Now for the wedging back take, very similar, but subtly different, okay? So now we're here, maybe I can't get this off, maybe I'm struggling, right? In this scenario, I'm just gonna start turning and dropping my inside knee here. Start almost giving them heel hook, right? See how she can grab my heel. But I'm not too worried about it because I'm gonna post on this foot here so I can free my leg. And now even if she's wrapping my heel here, I kick it off, boom. And now my knee falls in front of her hip. And now here my knees are pinching. I wanna pull this knee in and press this knee down so I have that scissor effect. So I'm pinching the hips. And now when I go to roll for this back take, I wanna make sure that I roll below their butt. I don't wanna roll out here by the small of their back or upper back, because then I'm gonna be lifting their hips with a lot of strength versus just picking up their legs. So I'm gonna roll way down here by her butt. Here, look. And now I do that same motion where I'm pinching my knees and I press both my feet to the mat. Look, see how that lifts the hips up? Same back take now. Push the hips, grab the shoulder, hip escape out, and now I'm taking the back with a wedging back take, okay? Different angle, okay, we're here. I'm struggling to get this off. I don't know what's going on. So I start to turn, giving up what would seem like I'm giving up a heel hook, right? I post on this bottom foot to clear my leg, kick, drop my knee inside here, okay? And now I roll right by their butt here, and I stomp to the mat. Boom, hips come way up. Now I can push the hips, hip escape out, get my hooks, and look to get my submissions going. All right, now for the last one. This is the one that I was talking about my buddy Zach Graham would always do. And it's the toe hold. It's the toe hold on the inside leg, right? Now the concern with this one, a lot of times what I see people do, if they know this motion, is they want to get this foot to the other side. And that's not wrong, but I don't think you always need it. I don't think you always need it. And I'll talk about why. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna look to open up and step back a little bit so I can get access to these toes. And I actually don't need this grip, and we're gonna talk pretty in depth about it, right? This arm, I wanna get elbow deep around her heel. So I'm going here like really low, elbow deep around the heel. Now I can keep this hand on the toes and lock a toe hold grip, but if I sit here, their foot's just gonna explode. So sometimes what I'll do is I'll just hold here and I sit slowly. So look, I'll sit down slowly so I'm not exploding their ankle. Because if I didn't have my hand as a post there, all my weight just drops right on their toes. And now I can finish here, no problem, with just my leg and my arm. I can hug here, boom, there's my lock, right? Or I can go back to toe hold and look to finish here. Now people are concerned about this leg. Maybe she heel hooks me, maybe she whatever, right? Yeah, exactly like that. But if I just keep my toes turned out, my heel turned in, it's not gonna happen. This is certainly optimal if I can get my feet both on one side, but it's okay if I don't, because I can still very easily break them. The main concern is maybe them trying to turn out, so I'll keep this knee pinched on their hips so they can't turn, and now I can get those breaks. One more angle. Okay, so we're here, right? We're in single leg X, and I step open. I look to get these toes here. And now I reach elbow deep. And again, if I just drop my hip to the mat, I take my foot out, and I'm here, all the pressure's right on her ankle, right? So that's really gonna put a lot of damage on them, okay? So a lot of times if they're my friend or if I'm just training, I'll take this hand out, post, and sit through. Now you see her foot still caught. So I can straighten my leg and open my elbow, and I can still break them with really strong attacks. I can also go right back to this. As long as this elbow is deep, this will break them, all right? Now again, this is optimal. Getting my foot over and looking to break. But I don't need it. As long as I keep my heel hidden and drop this knee here, she's not gonna be able to roll out of the position. And there's my break. All right, so there you have it. Some options for you guys when someone has you in single leg X. We get up to our feet, we can really defend that primary ankle, and then we can start unraveling. Now we have gravity on our side. The moment we clear the hip, the foot that's on the hip, their hips are gonna fall to the mat, and they have to get right away into X guard or different options. And if they don't, we have Berimbolo, we have wedging back takes, and we have that really good toe hold option, guys. It's a very good attack that's super hard for them to get out of because there's no circular motion. They can't create rotation and inertia and momentum at that point. We're just flopping down and breaking their foot off. Again, Craig Jones just did it, 3 weeks ago, a month ago. And it's, like I said, it's funny because I taught it like 2 weeks before that. So yeah, I hope these are helpful and these add in to the options you already have and the options I've already showed in the past, right? Easiest thing is just clear the hip, the foot off the hip and try to escape single leg X. But counters are also optimal, right? We want to counter, we want to make people feel threatened, we want to make people feel defensive. We don't want them to stay in an offensive mindset. And this is kind of an option you can get into to do that to people, right? So try it out, let me know how it goes. If you want to see anything in the future, throw it down in the comments. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, send Aggie a thanks for toughing through today. She was just not feeling it, but she was a trooper, yeah. So thank you for that. Okay,
Sleepy bear.
Yeah, let her know that you're grateful. And yeah, guys, try it out, and we'll see you in the next one.